Day it is. Hey, it's a great day to be wavy. You already know, man. Back with Flames on Wheels. You know what I'm saying? I just want to first of all say it's Flame. You know what I'm saying? Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought Flame was finished? Nah, we just getting started, man. I appreciate everybody's support. You know what I'm saying? That's been going on with YouTube and kind of with the music. I just want to kind of let y'all know just a couple things going on. First things first. So, got an album coming up on November 27th. Check your calendar. What is that? Thanksgiving. Dropping it for y'all, man. Little bit of a little bit of a Thanksgiving listen. And then we got 2 more music videos coming out. Arguably, probably my biggest music video coming out in the next couple weeks or so. So we really moving. I'm pumped about it. Today's video is a little different, just because it's like today my dad's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame for the county that I live in, and he actually passed a few months back, and a lot of people know this story, and I'm not going to get into the whole story of the passing, but the big thing I'll tell you guys is just he was quite young, and he was somebody that really got me started with music. I grew up probably 7-8 years old. I was actually on the radio. He was a sports broadcaster, and he actually got me on the radio. And that was the first time I was around real studio equipment and real microphones, and I never knew it at the time. I was just kind of there with him, but I think being so young, my brain was kind of just adapt to being around all the different types of hardware and analog hardware, and different type of equalization, compression, different types of things for mixing, that it just kind of was instilled in me without actually being instilled in me. So, he got me into sports. He was very big into me playing all different types of sports. So I played soccer, basketball, lacrosse, baseball. I would have been a pretty good football player if I didn't have a heart condition. But he was very well known as the voice of the United States Naval Academy for their sports, and just a very good, very well represented role model for the community, and especially the sports youth community in the area that we live. So the reason I'm making this video is mainly because it goes to show you that anything in life can happen. Anything unexpected can happen, and you have to be ready for it, and you can never get too comfortable with life and think that you have everything figured out, because anything can happen. Tragedy can strike, and you just never know. It's been tough. It's been, a little over 8-9 months now. And my family, we continue to push through. For me, he was actually a big music supporter of mine as well. He, not only did he support me with sports, but he also supported me with college coaching and high school coaching with basketball and life in general, and just a great person, great father to our family. And it as he gets inducted today, it's just another reminder of what happens when you do what you love, but you do it to help people. You know what I mean? And that's like the biggest thing when it comes to like the sports, is he loves sports, but he loved like helping the youth with sports. Like he was very big into if you know, if a kid was struggling, he would always, here's what you can do to get better. Like, it was always like help, 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 help. And I think that, you know, I got some of my you know, service and coaching you know, background from being around him, and you know, and being around all the people that he was, you know, associated with. I've been around the Naval Academy all my life. So a lot of people actually ask me if I've been in the Navy, and I've actually never been in the Navy. But I literally got asked yesterday if I was in the military. So it's just like, you know, you get kind of instilled those different types of characteristics from being around, you know, those type of individuals that represent military programs. But you know, and then today on top of that, my sister, she's gonna do her college signing day. So you know, it's a little crazy that it's on the same day as my dad getting inducted into, you know, the Hall of Fame for this county. But couldn't be more well deserved for both her and him. I mean, they from when she was like 6, 7, where it would be outside doing softball, home working on swings and working on pitches, and it could be rain, sleet, hail, storms, and they're out there throwing. And I'm just like, and then she would always be like, do you want to throw with me? And I'd be like, I'll throw with you for a couple minutes. And then all of a sudden he would come out there, and all of a sudden I'd be back inside. I mean, it was their thing. I mean, he really cared for his daughter, and really, you know, softball was very, very important to him. And as a result, you know, this being on the same day is really, you know, is really a nice thing for our family. So, you know, like I said, this video is a little bit different. Sometimes it's not always about, you know, what I'm doing and where I'm going and what music I'm doing, because at the end of the day, you guys wouldn't have me without my family. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have me without, you know, the characteristics that they've instilled in me. You know, you wouldn't see that desire. You wouldn't see that chase. You wouldn't see that. You would probably not even see me behind a microphone. I could tell you guys a couple quick stories. I mean, one of the stories would be, I used to record on a snowball microphone from Walmart, $49.99, right from Walmart, right? And I would go in there and record, and you know, I used to use Logic. So I would be in Logic and I would record, and I would put the songs out, and you know, they came out pretty good for a $49.99 microphone. Now my microphone's $1,200, so it's a little different. But when it was $49.99, you know, I still made it work. I really want to know like how it would sound. I might go to Walmart and do a video on it, on how it would sound if I did a snowball mic with all my mixing and everything like that now, because I've gotten so advanced. But you know, but I gave him, I let him listen to that. That was my first ever album I recorded on the snowball mic. And I never forget, he was cutting grass and he came inside, and he was like, man, that song Let It Rock, I really like that song. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He was like, he's stuck in my head. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, you know. And then from there on, he really was a supporter. And then we actually I actually got, trying to think of which microphone it was, but I got another microphone. I got the Rode NT1. And I was recording albums on the Rode NT1 before I got the Neumann. And then, but with the Rode NT1, he was like, I really like how that sounds. Can I have that? And I was like, yeah, I got the Neumann. You can have it. So I gave him the Rode NT1. So a lot of people don't know. He was calling, he was calling radio shows on this real nice mic from home. And you would never know, just because it was, you know, it was filtered and all that, you know, all that crazy stuff. So, but, you know, so that was really another kind of cool moment of, you know, because all his life he's been kind of giving me different things. And that was kind of my way of kind of being like, well, look, you helped me get to this point here. Let me give you this, you know what I mean? So now you can advance what you're doing. And there's certain things that he wanted me to do that I'm going to do, in time. I've authored a book called Long Days, Short Weeks. And I have yet to put it out. It still has a lot of editing and stuff that I have to do the process through, but it's about 240 something pages so far about my story with OCD. And he really wanted me to publish that. And, obviously I didn't get a chance to publish it before he passed. So that's one of my, that kind of creeps in the back of my head, quite a bit. So there's Long Days, Short Weeks. And then he really wanted to do a podcast. And he wanted to do a sports podcast, and it never really, like his own sports podcast, and it never really got to the point that he wanted to build it. So I think like in the future, Flames on Wheels might be a podcast. You never know. I'm not foreshadowing. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to hang y'all off a cliff, but and yeah, like I get inspiration from so many different types of people and so many different types of, walks of life. I mean, but he was one of them that, like, I mean, he really transformed my life. I mean, anything that I needed, I mean, he was there. Like, I can't say he wasn't there. Yeah, and you can just hear it in my voice. I mean, every day it's still a shock to me and the family, and everybody who knows him, who knew him. So, every day we just continue to push forward. I know you guys see me with a lot of energy, and, it's a great day to be like all that good stuff, but at the end of the day, I do try and stay 10 toes down, as often as possible, just because I always want to remember where I'm from, kind of remember where everything started. I'm not going to tell you guys necessarily where my location is, but the place that I'm shooting this video is very close to me. You know what I'm saying? It's a place where I did a lot of, growing up, becoming a man, learning about different sports, different walks of life. And, it's another reason why I like to be close to home. It kind of keeps me reminded of where I'm from. Whether I go, city to city, state to state, no matter where I go, I always kind of try and remember who I'm from. And he was big on that too. He was big on kind of like, no matter where you go with music, you got to always know kind of where you're from. And I was like, yeah, for sure. You got to definitely stay humble. So that's really it for this video. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to come on here and just kind of give you guys a little bit of background into kind of what goes on in my daily life. A little step back away from the music, just to kind of give you guys a little insight into behind, who the Walking Flame really is. So, you know what I'm saying? Again, this was a great day to be great. You know what I'm saying? Great day to be gravy, or great day to be wavy. I appreciate y'all, man. Flames on Wheels. Walking Flame out.